back to the Coffeevaners. I'm Alan.
I'm Ali.
And today we're going to give you our 6 month to the day review of this Elddis Avante 454 Sherwood. We're going to look at all the good stuff, all the not so good stuff, and things we will change. So we're going to start with... Where should we start?
It's the better.
Right, we'll start with the good stuff. And I've made a few notes here. Now, primarily, this is a 2-berth caravan, so it's purely for couples, or for a single or something like that. It is a small caravan. Its length is under 6.9 metres, 22'7" in old money, which makes it ridiculously small, because it has a fixed transverse island bed. Its width is quite generous. It's 7'5". That's just under 2.3 metres. The nose weight is maximum 100 kilos. Its upplated MTPLM is 1500 kilos, and it's on the road weight. Empty is 1194. That gives us a massive payload of 306 kilograms, which for a small caravan is absolutely phenomenal, isn't it?
Brilliant.
When you look at some of the other caravans, this is absolutely amazing. And as Ali said, the biggest bonus of this caravan is the fixed transverse island bed. For what are the main reasons?
Well, when we had the French bed, I used to be climbing over you to go to the toilet in the middle of the night and waking you up. And we tried it the other way, and you didn't like it because your feet were stuck next to the wall and you like to hang your feet out the bed. The other thing with this bed, if I do need to go to the toilet in the middle of the night, I can walk around it quite easily.
I think because it's only 7 inches narrower than an 8-foot van, and the bed is, he has a quick look at its notes, 6'3" in length by 4'5" in width, which is a generous double bed, isn't it?
Yeah.
So because you're small, you can walk past it. Generally for me, I have to sort of turn sideways and shuffle past it, but you can get past it without having to worry about putting it into day mode. And we have never had it in day mode.
No, never.
The other thing about a bed that size is the underbed storage is also
Brilliant.
massive.
It is.
We keep just about everything we need to take away on our trip, other than an awning. Virtually everything goes under that bed, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's absolutely brilliant. Right, let's go back to the caravan itself, other than the bed. Other things we really like about it is, above our head, and I'll show you a photo in a bit, is the Stargazer roof light. This roof light is 5 foot long?
Yeah.
By about 18 inches to 2 foot wide. It's one hell of a light, isn't it, to get the light into the caravan. And when you read on the dealer websites where they say, because it's an L-shaped lounge and a fixed island bed, you've got one side of the caravan where the only window you've got is the kitchen. And they actually say on the website, you will not be disappointed by the amount of light you get in this caravan. And you won't.
Oh.
That Stargazer totally compensates for any loss of windows, doesn't it?
Yes.
And we'll kind of look more at the dealer special, because that's the caravan we've got. So we can't talk about the standard Avante, and we can't talk about the dealer specials other than the Sherwood, which is the one we've got. Although most are alike, I do know there is some differences. I think the Glossop caravan, the Chatsworth, has things like a Hecky vent roof light over the kitchen, whereas it's just an opening light. And it also has, I'm fairly sure, has an awning heater, so the blown air blows out into the awning side of the caravan, which this doesn't have. But everything that we have on this dealer special is pretty much on all of them. Some have more, and this is what we think is probably the good points of this caravan. The fact it's got a barbecue point and an external 240 volt point. We have the locker light and the awning offside light, which is absolutely fantastic. And like we said, the stargazer light, and we have a considerable amount of LED lighting. Now for us is a good point and a bad point, but we'll come on to that in a little bit. The fridge is a 110 litre Dometic fridge, and the oven and grill is a Thetford oven and grill with 3 burner gas and 1 electric hob. You would not ordinarily find that in a small, what's classed as, people say, is an entry level caravan, along with pleated blinds. It's just not ordinary thing that you would see. So that's the good points, if you like, of this caravan, and we do absolutely love it. But it's not been without its faults. Now, none of those faults, thankfully, we have not been able to get sorted very, very quickly and very easily. And that's because the customer service at Elddis themselves has been fantastic. I think we all know in 2021 as we are now, if you want to get your caravan booked into for any sort of repairs, you're going to be waiting a long time. Dealers are especially busy. Some are much better than others. We won't comment on ours because purely we've never been to the dealers. We bought this caravan off the internet. We had no idea what this caravan itself looked like or was like. We had seen the Elddis 360 tour that's available on my website, and I'll stick a link to that below. On top of that, we'd had a short conversation on Twitter about 2-berth caravans, and we'd seen the review by Jules and Karina from Here We Tour on their YouTube channel, and we bought the caravan based on the information that we got from really those 2 sources. Of course, when we got on the site from the dealer where we got it from, we had the further list of what was additional to the standard Avante 454, and it was on the outside, as well as the barbecue point external stuff, was that it had heavy duty steadies on, and the graphics are slightly different. But other than that, from the outside, it looks like an Avante 454, doesn't it? I think at the front, it's got the extra locker box that you don't get on the standard. But in essence, that's the caravan. Inside, since we've gone through all the extras that you get, there's some big differences, and that is, first of all, this caravan has 5 240 volt electricity points. It has 1 in the bedroom, which is close to the vanity unit dressing table with the mirror, so that's ideal for Ali, so she can use that for a hairdryer and things like that on that side of the bed. 2 sockets, which is fairly normal, in the kitchen. 1 in the lounge.
Your cupboard at the bottom.
Yep. 1 in the lounge and 1 over the second kind of dressing table vanity thing that doesn't have a mirror on the other side, which gives us more than enough 240 volt sockets. On top of that, you get both a lounge and a bedroom 12 volt socket, plus the aerial and satellite sockets all built into one, and you get 2 of those, which again is absolutely perfect. We haven't put a TV in the bedroom, with really no intentions of doing so, have we? But the option is there for anybody who wants to. I think for us, what it does give us is, we were thinking we'd need more USB points in the bedroom, but we could use the 12 volt socket just with a USB adapter in it, so we can charge our phones and the like, and the from the 12 volt socket, and still have the 240 volt available to us. Again, in the lounge, we get 2 additional USB points, and thankfully those are not in the small light. One thing that's really been a bugbear of mine is that I hate to see cables. And if we were having to use USBs that were in the spotlights, it would absolutely drive me mad. So the fact that they've put 2 USB points in a fixed socket on the shelf at the back where the cables can be totally out of sight is absolutely perfect for us. It's really, well, they're used all the time, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah.
We basically keep the phones plugged in the lounge all the time. Other good points, the L-shaped lounge. This obviously it's a personal preference, but the L-shaped lounge is fantastic, isn't it? And it suits us down to the ground. We don't have his and hers chairs. We tend to sit and lounge wherever we tend to sit and lounge. So it just suits our purposes, suits our needs, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But that does bring on to the bad points, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And we have got some bad points. The first one, I think the most important one, is when you get a caravan, you get an internal table, and the table you get with this caravan is the same you get in every other Elddis caravan. Now this is a small caravan, but you get a full-size table, which basically means it's totally unusable. We have never, in the 6 months we've had the caravan, we've never used the table in the caravan. We've used it in the awning, but not in the caravan. It's just too big, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think for us, we prefer the fact that we've gone out and we've bought a small coffee table for inside, and we tend to, rather than a full height table, I think it makes it more like a lounge then.
Yeah.
We've got something that it will hold 2 side plates, 2 plates and 2 cups, and that's basically it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a small table, fits nicely in the square that we've got at the front, and that's how we kind of live in this area. Anything else you want to say about the lounge?
It's better the side for the TV, because in our other caravan, the TV was at the door and you come in, and with it being a lightweight TV, only needed the wind, and we would have lost it.
Yeah, and it's kind of like home. If you think, we don't have our TV mounted on the wall, we don't particularly like that idea. So our TV's at the sort of normal 3 foot height, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or 3'6" height, or whatever a unit is. So to have that wall without a window where we can put the television, if you like, on a shelf where it's going to be safe, secure, and it looks like it's on the opposite side of your room, is a real advantage, isn't it?
Yeah.
It suits us
Definitely.
down to the ground. Right, we're going to move on to some bad points, because we've had a few niggles, and some are none of them are bad, really, are they?
No. Not like some people get.
Not like some people. We absolutely appreciate we're talking about our van and not every
Anybody
van.
else's.
Now let's have a look at the build quality. The build quality for us has been pretty good, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We've still got the problem. We're still getting sawdust dropping down when we're driving down the road, and we're having to hoover shelves and things like that. That will go eventually. But generally, the build quality has been spot on. We've only had one problem. Two problems, you're right. The first is one that's been absolutely mentioned by lots of people, and that's the window blinds. And we too have had a problem with one of ours. Now I think I know the reason for that problem. These are the blinds, and I'll show you a photo sort of up here somewhere of the blinds, and they've got the fly screen is at the top, and then the pleated blinds is at the bottom. So if you've got if you like, the windows open and the fly screens all the way down, when you actually want to close the window, your normal thing to do is to go to the very bottom and try to lift the whole lot all at once. And as soon as we've done that, the strings have jumped out of the little plastic clips at the side. If we move the fly screen up to the top, so the blinds are then shut, and then move the blinds up to the top, we've never had a problem. So I think that's maybe something in the design, or maybe it's us being maybe slightly heavy-handed. But either way, we've had that problems with just one of the blinds, none of the others, not the bedrooms or anything like that. It's just this one in the lounge we've had a problem with, and that's the only thing I can think of that's caused the problem. Because when I don't lift them both at once, the strings stay totally intact. So that's the first of the two problems we've had. The second problem is, as also has been well sort of mentioned on social media and forums, is the surround for the Stargazer roof light. And that was, I think, a recall on some caravans that were earlier than the 454, and I think the Stargazer surround was a different colour. But when this was released this model was released in 2020, ours being the 2021 model, they've stuck, or there is, I won't say they've stuck, there is 8 spotlights in the Stargazer light. On top of that, when you turn the lights on, the 8 spotlights, you also get the whole surround of the top with the LED lights. If we then take on board, in the lounge itself, we have 3 corner spotlights and another light here. It's like walking into a football stadium when the lights are on. And the problem is, you can't turn the spotlights off without the LED lights being off. They're kind of all wired in together. And once this is out of warranty, that is the very first job that I'm going to do, is to put a touch sensitive switch somewhere in the caravan that will allow us to have the LED lights on, so you've got that mood lighting when you're wanting to watch the TV. We've got the corner spots when we want to read, and I can never think of a time other than when we're sat here doing these videos when we'll ever have these Stargazer lights on. They may only be small, what are they, I don't know, 2.5 centimetres across, but when you've got 8 of them, the amount of light they throw out is phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we have nearly the same problem in the bedroom, and I'll put a photo up here again of the bedroom with the lights on, because we've got fantastic LEDs behind the headboard, and again on the opposite side of the room at the top, lovely sort of mood LEDs. But over the dressing table with the mirror, there's 2 large
Spotlights.
sort of 2-inch spotlights that come on, and you have the 2 reading lights at the side of the bed. Now the reading lights at the side of the bed you can operate separately, but the 2 spotlights as well as the LED again make the bedroom look like you've walked into a floodlit car park. It is just far too much light for such a small caravan. I can probably see the logic if this was, you know, the 580 or whatever it is, a massive caravan. You can see why you would need this number of lights and the brightness, and maybe you would be quite happy with it all on one switch. But that's something I'm going to do in the bedroom, is the headboard LEDs and the mood lighting on the opposite side I'm going to put on their own switches as soon as this goes out of warranty, purely so that we can have a more subdued level of lighting, let's say. Bathroom light again is like a floodlight. It's you know, it's only a 2-inch LED, but because it's a wet room, and it is a small wet room, isn't it?
Yeah.
And for anyone who's contemplating buying this particular caravan, or the 454, I would honestly say, get yourself in the wet room, pull the curtain across, and see if it's actually big enough for you to have a shower, because it is tight, and sit on the loo. I don't care how small or how tall or whatever you are, it takes some practice. It's because the toilet is actually slightly raised from the shower base, isn't it? So for Al, she's like climbing up steps to get on the loo.
No, I'm not climbing up steps. I've got my own way of getting up there. Everybody thinks I'm taking steps in the toilet to climb on.
But honestly,
no, I've got my own way.
Try if you're looking at an Elddis that has the shower room rather than a separate toilet and bathroom.
You're a short ass like me.
Go and try it, because it's a compromise in this van that we were prepared to take, and we have no problems with it whatsoever.
No.
It works perfectly for us, but it is.
Art of its own for me getting on the toilet.
It's an art, and it's slightly strange.
Don't ask for a video because you're not getting
No, you won't
one.
get a video of that. No, definitely not. So from a caravan point of view, from a build quality point of view, and from it being right for us as a couple that we've just got back from 2 weeks holiday, this has been the perfect buy, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And I really think that if you're just a couple who are limited with space, let's say you want to put it on your drive like we do, we have a 7 metre drive, just over. I have literally less than an inch between the caravan and the wall of the house at the back. So we are limited for space. We didn't want to put the caravan in storage, but this was the perfect option for us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Getting this caravan has been the best thing we've done, and we can't see us ever wanting or needing, now we've used it for 6 months, of ever needed to upgrade it, unless we upgrade it for maybe a newer version of what we've already got. The wood is very light, isn't it?
Yes, but I like that.
Which makes it really airy. The windows are slightly tinted, so you don't get that glare off the sun coming through. That's a massive bonus. I'm just trying to think of things where you maybe sort of think, I would rather that different, because this comes with the grey and oatmeal furniture,
But we have seen it with a different colour.
and like a light oak. Different dealer specials have different colours. We've seen it with a grey and a piped blue trim.
Yeah.
So all still with the limed oak sort of effect furniture, and of course depending on the colours of the cushions will also depend on the colours of everything else, like the curtains.
The best thing now you're on about the curtain is the curtains in your bedroom. You have 2 windows, and they are on proper curtain poles, and in the silver, and it really does set the bedroom.
It does set it off. Yeah, right. Another picture coming up here of I'll sort of open a window and take a photo of that. But they are, as you would have at home, they are curtain poles. So if you did get one of these caravans and you thought, oh no, I want to change it, I've changed the bedroom, the bedding, and I want to make the curtains to match the bedding, you can quite easily do that. You just take the ends off the poles, slide the curtains off, put some new curtains up.
Yeah.
And again, they've got the tie backs, so it's a dead easy job, isn't it? The caravan essentially is very neutral to start with, and the curtains and tie wraps are the same in they are the same in front and back. So just like I don't know if you can see on there, you can't. But there is sort of an oatmeal curtain and the lightish greyish kind
brownie
of effect on the tie wraps. But the identical van, which is the Consett, comes with a different wood, and it looks even though it's identical size and layout and everything else, it's a totally different looking van, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we had a look at the Consett Kensington, I think it was, which was a much darker coloured van this year. Now obviously when we go to hopefully go to, and I can get time off work and we can go up to Elddis for their open day, we'll be able to have a look at the 2 454s with the Consett and the Avante for the 2021 range, 2022 range. So all going well, we're sort of hoping we'll be able to get a video out that will be able to show you that range as well. So really, just to summarise, we bought what we consider now to be the perfect caravan, and thankfully it's only taken us 2 attempts.
Yeah, we've been lucky.
But we were very, very lucky that Karina and Jules had done that video, and also that we'd been able to do all the other research, because websites now are much better, and I think because we're in lockdown we had a lot more time to do things as well.
Yeah. The other thing I would say is the microwave's a little bit high. That's the only thing.
Yeah, and that was something else that Karina pointed out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That if you're short, the microwave's quite high. In fact, the top cupboards are high, and you constantly say, "Can you get the bread down? Can you get this down? Can you reach and get me the plates out of there?" Because Ali can't quite reach. It's not so much the height as the fact that there's worktop, so that comes out sort of your standard 450mm, and you've got to lean up and forward to get into the top cupboards. But it's a compromise you make when you've got a small van. The front lockers are spot on, aren't they?
Yeah.
And there's plenty of room in the van.
It's mainly the microwave.
Yeah. We'll just touch on the heating system before we draw it to a close. In
the second, what went wrong?
What? Yeah. Right, we'll touch on the heating system, which is the Whale Complete heating system. It works on 3 voltages.
Yeah.
3 amp, 10 amp, I think, and is it 16 amp, 13 amp, something like that. When you first get it, especially when it's cold weather, getting in the van, putting it just on electric, it does take a while to warm up. Put it on the gas, 20 minutes. Van's like an oven, isn't it?
Yeah, turn it off.
So the heating system's absolutely spot on. It's just kind of using the right setting for the right time of year or the right outside temperature. Same with the hot water. If I was to give Whale some advice on the hot water, I would say turn the bloody temperature down. The hot water for me is just far too hot. I think we had it on 3 amp while we've been away, and because we've been away and using it for showers and all the rest of it, I think the hottest it got to was about 65 degrees, which is, for me, that's ridiculously hot. It would be nice if we could put a thermostat on there and just turn that down a notch. But don't worry, if you will always have sufficient hot water to have a shower. We've used the boost once for us both to have a shower, and that's really because we were a bit short of time. We were going out, and we just wanted we couldn't just wait for it to come back to temperature after Ali had been in the shower and washed her hair and run all the hot water off. But other than that, no problems at all with the heating and the hot water system. It's been brilliant, hasn't it? You do when you put it on gas, it does now and again drop onto fault because of the air in the system, but again because the Whale reset is actually on the control panel, you don't have to start lifting chairs and pressing reset buttons and doing all the messing thing. And they've also, with the drain down, they've moved it to the front, haven't they?
Yeah.
So you don't even have to lift a cushion. You can open a door and literally flick a switch and the heating system will drain down, which is absolutely perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, last thing that we had a problem with, and I'll go back to the Stargazer roof light and surround. We were unfortunate that going onto site, we went over the most horrendous unmarked speed bump. It was only about maybe 6 inches high, but it was literally like going up a curb. It was a hell of a bang, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was a really sharp drop off. So once I'd hit it with the front wheels of the car and realised how steep it was, because we didn't even see it on the approach because it was chucking it down with rain, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I run over and the back wheel still dropped off and the car bounced. when the caravan went over, whilst I was still only crawling, there was no way that was not going to be like dropping off the edge of a cliff. And it just dropped down, didn't it, onto the road?
It brought the railings down out the wardrobe.
So much so when the caravan bounced, the rails jumped out of the side supports, so all the clothes ended up in the bottom of the wardrobe. But what it also did was it put shock through the caravan, and directly over the axle is the mounting screws for the Stargazer roof light. Now, this may be me being a bit overcritical, but I have a feeling when they put these up, they're put up with a drill. So someone gets a drill, puts the screw straight into the ceiling. It may be, and I had this discussion with the technician at Elddis, great guy to talk to on the phone up at Consett, and I said that maybe it was that the screw had missed the batten, but thinking about it in a few days later, what I'm thinking is they've maybe put it in with a drill and tightened it, so a little bit too tight, just enough to strip the threads. So when it's had that jolt, the screws have just come down. So like I said, I had this conversation with Elddis. They've been absolutely spot on. I've reseated 2 of the screws that had dropped out, and it's absolutely rock solid again. So if you think that we've had the problem with the blind that we've been able to sort, and we now know how not to use them, and we've had the problem with the Stargazer surround, and we've now done over 2,000 miles. We've been on
our 6 months.
Yeah, 5 or 6. We've been on 5 or 6 trips. We've dragged it all over the place. Some of the roads haven't been brilliant. Some of the entrances to these CLs aren't great, as everybody will know. And it's bounced down the road, and it's still. Well, I've not had to adjust any drawers or any cupboard doors or anything like that, and nothing else has been a problem. So, yeah, we've had a couple of hitches, and we'll put them right. And we'll put them right because we've been able to talk to Elddis and talk to their customer care, and Elddis have been absolutely spot on in helping us getting the problem fixed, because we're prepared to have a go at it ourselves. Although I will add this as a caveat, they've always said to us, if you're not prepared to do it yourself, or you think it's too big a job, book it in at a dealer to get it rectified by them. But it's still been logged as a fault, and obviously these faults will all be second checked when it goes in for its first annual service. So, would we recommend this caravan?
Yes, I would definitely. Yeah.
I don't think we can fault it, can we?
No. We've been away for 14 nights.
Just got back from 14 nights.
And it's been spot on for me and you.
And
we haven't murdered each other.
No, far from it. Far from it. In fact, we've had loads of times, loads of space. Don't get me wrong, it's not a massive caravan, and it's not the most luxurious caravan, but from our point of view, it's a very practical, usable caravan that is ideal for couples.
Yes,
Agreed?
Definitely. Yes, definitely. I'll give it 10 out of 10.
That'll do for me. Right, on that point, we'll draw it to a close.
Oh, by the way, I've just got to let you know.
17 days.
To the Willows, and we off again.
Willows Abersock in North Wales.
That's it.
Right, you take care, stay safe, thanks for watching, please consider subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Ta-da.